TCMFilms.com or call 1-877-223-7030.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. We're looking at the portrayal of Jewish people on film right now. And with me as my co-host to help program the series is an author, lecturer, and educator, Dr. Eric Goldman. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Now, up next, we have the 1990 Barry Levinson film about a Jewish family with roots in Russia, but now living in Baltimore, Maryland, and trying to capture the American dream. It's a wonderful film called Avalon. And explain what Avalon is.
Avalon represents what was that intact urban community where people were there supportive of each other.
Okay.
Where if something happened, you had your mother living downstairs or across the street to come in and take care of your child.
Not a real place then.
Not a real place. And Levinson's very careful about creating this element that it's mythical. It's an interesting choice of names, of course, referring to King Arthur and other historical elements. But it's mythical. There is no such place in Baltimore. But it's where it begins. It's where everyone is there. And then what happens to it? It changes. People move out. People move from the urban area to the suburban area. And what is lost in that transition?
When I saw this movie, which I really love this film, I love Barry Levinson's work anyway, but when I saw this film, I wasn't really aware that they were a Jewish family that it was talking about. Was that deliberate or an accident, do you think?
I think it was deliberate, but they are so Jewish. But you know, it's fascinating. I walked out of the theater with my wife. My wife was born in Montreal. I grew up in Philadelphia. The Baltimore and Philadelphia experience was so similar. I lived in a row home, they're in a row home. That was my life. That was my Jewish upbringing. My wife, who came from Montreal, couldn't relate, and she was actually quite angry. She said, well, it's clear that they're Jewish. There's talk about the Holocaust. There's talk about what was lost, but why didn't he make it more Jewish? And there were some critics who felt that way. I certainly didn't. I thought it captured the American Jewish experience in Baltimore at that time. I think Levinson felt that he wanted the viewer to make their decision. He wanted them to connect in their own way. I connected. It was clear to me it was Jewish. My wife didn't. An Irish person may say, that's my story.
So it is kind of a story of everybody.
I think he may have...
So it's not just a Jewish story.
He may have tried to do that, but I think it's so Jewish. I think it's so Jewish because you have that moment, really, where that Holocaust scene is Jewish. It's the parents who don't want to share with their children. It's part of Jewish life for anyone who had connections with a family that came from Eastern Europe after World War II.
Yeah. So let's have a look at the film. Here it is from 1990, a movie nominated for 4 Academy Awards. One for its screenplay, one for its costume design, its music score, and cinematography. With the cast that includes Aidan Quinn, Joan Plowright, Elijah Wood, and Elizabeth Perkins. Here is Avalon.